blessings rain. Fill my soul in every way. Higher, higher as we go. Like the water we will go. Unify my mind, my soul. As above, so below. One God, one mind, one soul, one heart. One God, one mind, one soul, one heart. Higher, higher as we go. Like the water we will go. Unify my mind, my soul. As above, so below. One God, one mind, one soul, one heart, one God, one mind, one soul, one heart. Higher, higher as we go. Like the water we will blow. Unify my mind, my soul. As above, so below. As above, so below. As above, so below. Good morning.
Ooh, catch my breath. Okay, so happy Father's Day, and thank you for being here. Like I always say, I love being here, and I think of better people to be with. Well, that's a judgment, but it's okay. Okay, so welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. We are an open, and you can say this along with me. We are an open and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime. And I was going to say something else, but okay. And you are the architect. I was going to add. And it's never too late to know true happiness. I was just going to add that, it states of consciousness, but it's a state of your consciousness, your state of mind. And you have that power to change it, to do something with it. Okay. So, I want to thank any new people that might be here today for the first time. I don't recognize this young lady.
This is my daughter, George.
Oh, okay. Then we have met, huh? Yes. It's been a while, but thanks for being here today. Yes. And if there's anybody online, okay, that is new, welcome. We welcome you with an open heart and an open mind. Thank you. And I also want to thank Nettie for hosting Psalm Sunday. Thank you, Nettie. Okay. Oh, and then there's a warning. I was told there's a warning. Oh my God. We're going to have some dad jokes today. I don't know if they're going to be good or bad, but that's up to you to make that decision. But that we will have that, and it's going to be a fun day. It's a great day. The weather is just incredible, right? We've had weather that's beyond anything I could ever imagine in terms of how long it's been. Let's see. So now we're going to have our opening chant, and it will be done with Ty and Clive, and Joe Cristiano will do the prayer. Thank you.
Of course, as always, we invite you to relax, take a deep, deep, delicious breath. Let the words wash over you and fill you. And when you feel that wonderful inspiration, please join in and sing. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let's do that one more time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Oh yes, I am so blessed. So blessed to know that there is only one creator, one source, one love, one God that unites us all together. We are one in this magnificent power and presence. It is an awesome thing. And I am so grateful to know that each and every moment of my life is blessed by this knowing, by this practice of remembering who I am and who each of you are. I am so blessed. Thank you, Spirit, for this truth. Thank you, Spirit, that we all know this truth here in this community, and that by our very being, we allow others to see the light, to know the truth. We bless each and every person in our path. Each and every person that we even think about is blessed through this knowing, through this practice of knowing, of seeing, of believing. Thank you, Spirit, for this truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for this day. I am so grateful for each and every person here today and each and every person who is hearing this service today. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers, all the love, all the support, all the givingness that you do each and every day. Thank you. Thank you. I release and surrender my word to this most beautiful high power, this most beautiful presence and magnificence in my life and in the life of each and every one of us. I release this word with love, with peace, with harmony in my heart, and I let it be so. Please join me in So It Is.
And so it is. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let me hear you. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let's do it again. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. Mean it. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay, it's time for our June affirmation. And if you have it to read along with me, great. If not, then just, hear it in your own mind. But my request is, please make it your own. This is you, not Ernest Holm. This is you affirming something that is so real, so beautiful in you, and so incredibly, creative. So be that, okay? So let's read. I live in faith that there is a presence and power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I could not even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing and all-power and is always right where I am. My life is infinite energy coupled with limitless imagination. It's the invisible essence and substance of every visible form, and so it is. Okay, and now we're going to have Neil come up and do our peace practice.
How cordial.
Hi there.
Hello, good morning.
In case you don't know who I am the Pink Man, otherwise known as Reverend Neil Pinkman. It is wonderful to celebrate Father's Day. It's fantastic. And I remember when we celebrated Mother's Day not too long ago. But it was interesting because my wife asked me, why didn't I buy her flowers? But to be fair, I didn't even know she sold flowers. You can decide that. All right, it's time for the peace practice, and we know the peace practice is important because it's us. It starts inside each one of us. Peace starts here, it radiates out, and the more of us that do that, the more peace there is in the world. So if you would please repeat after me. I am the peace I wish to see.
I am the peace that I wish to see.
I know this peace for my family.
I know this peace for my family.
My family knows this peace for my community.
My family knows this peace for my community.
And my community knows this peace for the world.
And my community knows this peace for the world.
And today's reading is from the textbook on page 468. And for Father's Day, the Father's house always open. And so the Son found everything in the Father's house just as he had left it. Nothing had changed, and he was made welcome to all the divine stores. But he had to return to find joy and peace forevermore. How wonderful is reality! While we may have seemed to be away from it, it has never remained the same, and it is ever ready to reveal itself to us. All we have to do is go halfway, that is, turn to it, and it will turn to us. The truth known is instantly demonstrated, for the truth is changeless reality and cannot come and go. No matter how long we may have been away from reality in our thought, it is always here, ready to spring forth, fully orbed into expression. No matter how long a room may have been darkened, the entrance of light instantly illuminates it. What becomes of the darkness when the light enters? Where did it come from, and where does it go? It is difficult to comprehend such an infinite possibility as an instantaneous reconciliation with the universe. We demonstrate this only in degrees because our consciousness is not yet fitted to perceive the wholeness of complete perfection. And on that very serious note, I'll ask you a question. What did the fisherman say to the what did the magician say to the fisherman? Pick a cod, any cod.
We should have an automatic rim shot. Jerry, you're up. Oh, what if I give you a microphone? So we're beginning our Father's Day tribute right now. Was this going to pick? Maybe this. I'll put it down so we have additional sound. Oh, you mean her mic? You meant her stand. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
This is comedy today. I'm sorry. All comedy.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Mother's Day. We'll add it, even though it isn't Mother's Day, to all the mothers. Daddy talks to me of miracles every day. Papa comes to wherever I am and chases the monsters away. Father prays with me and holds me so very close. I love them all. I love them the most. Daddy tells me I'm the prettiest girl in town. Papa never lets the smile that I wear melt into a frown. Father tucks me in and holds me so very close. I love them all. I love them the most. I've courage now because I have a love that's strong and deep. I'm boasting of the worlds I'll conquer. It's easy as I see. It never occurred to me to ever stop my dream. Daddy, Papa, Father, a love to keep. Daddy carries me with arms that are made from love. Papa quiets each fear in my heart and calls from my angels above. Father's always there to hold me so very close. I love them all. I love them the most. I've courage now because I have a love that's strong and deep. I'm boasting on the world I'll conquer. It's easy as I see. It never occurred to me to ever stop my dream. Daddy, Papa, Father, a love to keep. Daddy carries me with arms that are made of love. Papa quiets each fear in my heart and calls to my angels above. Father's always there to hold me so very close. I love them all. I love them the most. I love them all. I love them. Daddy, Papa, Father. A love to keep.
Thank you, Jerry. And as Jerry was saying, so that people online will know that that was Richard Cummings Jr. who played piano. Is that correct?
Yep.
Thank you, Richard. I think he's online.
Yeah, he said he's gonna try and get on.
There's a lot of mics here, so
Oh, you need this mic now.
can you help me? I don't know.
I sure can.
Thank you.
I'm the tech guy today.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Father's Day again. I'm
Yes.
so happy to see you all here. CSL has put on a wonderful, what I think is wonderful, tribute to fathers. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Celine. So thank you for coming and bringing your hearts. And that song was beautiful, Jerry. I didn't know what to expect. Thank you. I think that really sets the tone for today. It's giving love tribute, also keeping it quite light, because we have the ultimate dad who who opened with us with dad jokes that he does all the time. So thank you.
Oh, Joel's not here. He's on. Thank you, Joel.
So to kick this off, I want to give you what to expect for the next few minutes. We'll have a mixture. We tried to do a 360 view of fathers. So we're going to have the perspective of a dad, so his own perspective, that's Brian, and his son, thank you, Jacob, for coming. And David was supposed to be here, but he unfortunately wasn't feeling well. So we're going to get the perspective of a son, of a father. And then we'll have me, and it'll be a surprise what perspective I will bring. And then Marcy, surprise. If Joe didn't notice this morning, but anyway, Marcy is part of the program as well, and will give the perspective of a wife who observed her husband being a father. And yeah, we're gonna have more dad jokes, so get your water together, your throat drops, whatever you may need. And then we will bless with a presentation of a gift to all the fathers. So please stay. We'll ask the fathers to come up afterward. Please watch all the wires. I'll try to remember to tell you again. Watch the wires in the front, but we'll do similar to what we did for Mother's Day, where everyone will come up, be presented, and then Tony's gonna give us a nice blessing of all the fathers. And then we'll close out. So I thank you all for coming. And you know what, the gift, I'm gonna tell you, well no, I'll tell you later. So in
Anticipation.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Sal, because now I'm going to keep you all in great anticipation. So, I have a joke. A man tried selling me a coffin. It's the last thing I need. These father jokes. Jacob, thank you.
That's a good one.
Is this the, okay,
You can lift that up.
yeah. Hi, my name is Jacob, and I'm going to be speaking off the whim here because I haven't really written anything, which is crazy because usually I do write stuff, but I will be improvising today. So my father is the wonderful Brian Jude. He put together one of the first things that he did in my life was put together my first year movie, which documents everything that happens from the day I was born to my first birthday. And it was, I used to watch it, every year on my birthday, but then it kind of got a little bittersweet for me to watch, so I kind of grew out of it. I know the story, but I just think that, the dedication to his firstborn son kind of really made me think, wow, this guy's an excellent father. As I've gotten older, I've kind of spent my life living not only obviously with him, but getting to know him and just seeing what he's like as a person. And he would always, his most famous catchphrase is, "Technology's great when it works." And I stand by that because whenever something goes wrong on technical standpoint, I would just use that quote. He has inspired me in that sense as a creative writer, as someone who enjoys music, as a performer. I get that from both my parents, but I feel like I'm mostly in the writing aspects and the storytelling aspect I get from my father. He's also a brilliant, on that topic, he's a brilliant director. He directed a few music videos that I helped out with one of them last year. And lately I've just been thinking about a song that he would always associate with me as a kid. And as a baby. It's Beautiful Boy by John Lennon. And he was gonna sing it at my bar mitzvah, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no, don't do that. But instead he quoted it, and I'm like, that's fine. But overall, my dad is just a brilliant man, and he's been there obviously since day one. And for both me and my brother, and he was always there for my mother as well. He's always there for her now, and he's my favorite concert buddy too. Let's just throw that in there. I got him into some of my music while he got me into some of his. So there's that. And we now have like more in common than I ever thought we would. And music-wise, he's gotten me into U2, Pink. I've gotten him into the 1975, and he's just he's the most brilliant man that I know, and I love you so much, Dad. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. I'm gonna do I have two jokes. I'm gonna do the funnier one second. The first one I have is, I invented a pencil with an eraser on both ends. There's no point to it. This one I chose instantly. This is the funniest one I saw. Did you know that the leading cause of car accidents is deer? Which is crazy because I didn't know they could drive. Thank you.
Wow. I'm really honored and grateful for your words, Jacob. And as Giovanna said, unfortunately, David was not able to be here today, but he was fully prepared to share as well. And yeah, it's just good to know. Good to know that I get to hear such wonderful things about me. I mean, it shows that I'm on track for my goal to be the best father that I can be. And I can attribute that to two main factors. And if I had all day, I would share all of that with you. But first and foremost is the example set by my own father. His goal for me was always to be as happy as I could be, whatever that took. I have fond memories of my childhood, taking me and my sister to the movies or amusement parks or fairs. He taught me how to ride a bicycle, or rather he let me learn how to ride a bicycle with his encouragement, holding on to the seat until he felt I was ready for him to let go. He loved to teach me about astronomy, which is something that we both shared a complete passion for. When I joined Boy Scouts, he became an assistant scoutmaster, and we enjoyed numerous camping trips together. In high school, he would always help me with my algebra homework, which I was very good at, and then by the time I'd get home after class, I'd forget everything that I learned in class. And then after him helping me the next day in class, I was so far ahead of everybody else because somehow I was able to retain it after he worked with me. One of the biggest things I think too is he guided me through my emotional journey. His natural way of being was very mellow. He was always described as mellow, which was perhaps, I'd say, offset by my mother's nature. She was more rather volatile and sharp-tongued, quick-tempered, and which I tended to react to in kind. So my dad would give me the advice, you gotta roll with the punches, he would tell me. Another one of his famous quips, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I'd say the most impactful impact that he had on me was probably when he chose to leave my mother, who he had tried to help for many years through her problems, her addictions with alcohol. And he fought to get custody of me and my sisters. My youngest sister was barely a toddler at that point, and subsequently married a much more stable woman and provided for us the peaceful family atmosphere that we never had before. Later on, when I was in high school, if I was going out somewhere, I'd always hear the same mantra from him. Where are you going? How are you getting there? Who's going to be there? When are you coming home? Every single time. He definitely did his best to try to prevent me from doing anything stupid, which did work most of the time. And when I did do stupid stuff, he somehow had this unnatural way of finding out. And I think one moment that really impacted me as well, and impacted our relationship, was when I was in my junior year of high school and got to play the title role in Jesus Christ Superstar, after which was the very first time that he told me he was proud of me. Being a man of few words, I didn't think that he wasn't proud of me before. I knew that he was, but the fact that he got to say it at that point had a profound impact on me, as I'm sure it did on him. And as we both got older, he was able to open up a little bit more. He matured more as I matured. He was able to express himself more freely. I don't think he ever told me that he loved me until I was an adult, which again, being a man of few words, I never thought that he didn't love me. It's just, I knew that he didn't have that ability to express it until then. And to this day, his guidance still echoes in my ear like Jiminy Cricket to Pinocchio, still keeping me from doing stupid things most of the time. So as I said, his impact is but the first impact on my approach to fatherhood. The second, my boys themselves. On February 16, 2005, I discovered an entirely new definition of love. Seeing my own flesh and blood for the first time was an experience I thought I was prepared for, but the impact was far greater than I ever imagined. Perhaps the impact was elevated due to the fact that Jacob was born with a birth defect that nearly took his life. Fortunately, a very gifted surgeon saved his life the next day. 6 weeks later, it was my turn, as I had to perform infant CPR on him after he nearly aspirated on his own saliva. And there were 2 other times during his first year that we almost lost him, but I knew that once he survived that first year, he was going to be okay. 6.5 years later, David's birth was far less dramatic, but equally unusual. In utero, his mother had to be put on strict bed rest. And after a few incidents of being stir-crazy, she turned out needing to be rushed to the hospital about 6 weeks before his due date, which ironically was supposed to be my birthday as well. But we were told that night she was going to have what I like to call an infantectomy. Infantectomy. Like an appendectomy, but it's removing an infant. Okay. Dad joke. So. Now you get it. So being 6 weeks premature, the doctors told us not to expect David to meet his measures because, he'd be 6 weeks behind. Now, not this kid. He was actually early for just about everyone. He even tried to mimic his mother saying, "I love you" at 4 months old. Yeah. And as soon as he learned how to put sentences together, he started asking questions that just blew my mind. Made me ask, how does your young mind even work to think to ask such questions? They say that boys are easier to raise than girls. And if that's the case, then I think my boys are probably easier than any other boys. I've often told how remarkably polite, intelligent, and well-spoken they are. They continue to impress me on a consistent basis. And not wanting to repeat one of my father's few mistakes, I frequently tell them how much I love them and how proud I am of them. They're both incredibly talented in both music and writing. And they're both extremely socially conscious. Very much so. In all honesty, they've always helped me make being a good father very easy. And nothing makes me more proud and grateful than watching them grow into the remarkable young men that they have become. And I love both of you guys with all my heart, and I always will. And now for the jokes. All right. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. That's right, exactly. Why should you never date a tennis player? Because love means nothing to them. And on that note, who's up next?
I love when we get to hear about the intimate stories of those that we've shared years of treatment and Sunday services with. Wow, it just swells my heart. Thank you both for sharing that. You too, Jacob, thank you. So an unfortunate thing happened last night. My dog ate an entire bag of Scrapple tiles. So I rushed him to the vet. No word yet. How's that for delivery? Are you proud, Neil? Am I doing a good job? Okay. We validate those jokes now.
My fear is Joel is ready to down.
Yes, and he can. He's a dad too.
That's right, recycle.
Okay, so I wanted to be a part of this. Over the years, I've met several dads that are wonderful. And when we decided to put this together, I said, wow, I do have some things to contribute here. And so, in my very silly self, at times, as I get older, I get more silly, which is wonderful, because I spent a whole lot of years too serious. So if anyone remembers an old cartoon, it was probably in the 80s or 90s, but it was an after-school cartoon, and it was called Voltron. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to explain it. So all these cars got together, and they built this big machine that would go out and fight crime, right? So, and all its parts were all other cars that individually fought crime on their own, but when they got together and created the Voltron, they became that much more powerful. I was inspired by a podcast called R&B Money. I love R&B music, if you know me. I play it all the time, morning, noon, and night. And I listened to this podcast, and then one of the hosts, his name is Tank, he's a musician and singer, artist, blah, 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 wonderful person. And he created something for his podcast, and I stole it. And it's creating a Voltron of an artist, but I'm going to create a Voltron of a father. Okay, so I'm going to take what I believe are, what I've observed over the years, 5 impressive characteristics of fathers. And I'll give you examples of each. So to run them down, I find that 5 areas of strength, and just observed by me, there's many more, there's no limit here. Teachers, they help build the tracks to support for future endeavors. Great caregivers, great advice givers, and planners. So let's start with teachers. So I worked, I knew very intimately a father who was teaching his daughter how to wash her hair and care for her hair. And her hair was a lot. She had a lot of hair. I loved it. And yes, I would do it sometimes, but he had a way of teaching her how to embrace her hair, her locks, her beautiful, thick hair, and she hated it. Oh my God, she would hate combing her hair, she would hate washing her hair, she would hate all things involved in keeping her hair together. One day I came in and the whole kitchen was transformed into I think it was called Spa Clinton, right? So his name is Clinton, and he made a spa in the kitchen. And this spa was washing her hair, washing Lauren's hair. And so everything was done with accent, and I'm not going to repeat it because I'm horrible, but just imagine this father who's 6'1", swirling around the kitchen with, I think she might have been 12, so she's a good age, and he just made such a good joy of it. I wanted to get my hair washed by Spa Clinton. It was just so much fun, and after a while, she warmed up. You know, she washed her hair in the sink, put extra conditioning in to get the comb through it, and she's understanding how to do her hair, and it's fun, right? So I really enjoyed watching that, and it was very overwhelming for her. And I just thought, wow, what a dad, to have thought to have been so creative in that moment. How can I make this less of a trauma for my daughter? Another observation that I made was a father who was introducing book reading to his children. God bless you. And he would provide limitless books in the beginning to his son, encouraging him to read. And then it came to a point where he just surpassed him, because they would often talk about the books that he read, because his father would introduce him to books that he read at some point in his life, and they would talk about it. And they would go to the library, because it would get expensive to buy books all the time, so they would go to the library, and then maybe they would get books that are discounted, however the books would come. And then the love of reading took off, and this young man just continued to read, and he's just absorbing and reading all the time. And this was from the care that his dad took. And always, that was their thing to do. Go to the library or go to a bookstore, maybe read the books in the bookstore, and come home, talk about it. And so that was the wonderful teacher again, and a father, and showing his son how to appreciate that you have this way of escaping, you have this way of learning, and oh, how much fun it is. So that's the teacher. Let's go to thoughtful advice. I'm sure maybe this rings true for many of you who have either observed fathers or had fathers on your own, but great listeners. That's why they're men of few words, in my opinion, in my observation, because they do a whole lot of listening and filtering and sorting through this enormous problem that you may be presenting, and then they kind of sift through, and then when it's their time to speak, it's few words, because usually a solution is simple, and then they deliver that. And I've seen that and experienced that many times, and I found that the solutions are always organic and robust. Also, I've seen where girl dads giving advice to daughters on how to solve conflicts with their girlfriends. Yeah, oftentimes on a ride somewhere, because I've noticed in this particular relationship, the father and the daughter would often speak in the car. And so she would sometimes share, as she's getting older, some problems that she might have encountered with her girlfriends. And he would listen, and it's different how moms do it, and moms are wonderful at this too, and we heard about that at Mother's Day. But the father listened and gave some advice. It was solid and to the point, and she implemented. And I'm sure that will stay with her. It stayed with me many, many years later. The next is, I've witnessed, and even recently witnessed, how fathers lay the tracks for security. So I also observed where a father, and it was so interesting how universe works, and we say that a lot, but this was just really uncanny. So this dad had a family business in the Caribbean. And it was his father's business. And over the years, his father is slowing down, and the business slowed down with it. But this particular father was thinking, well, how do I secure additional income for my daughter? And then he thought, well, I'll breathe life back into that business in Antigua, and I'm going to secure this for my daughter. His daughter was, I think she was 18, going into college, and this is when he decided that he was going to start investing. And he was living in Florida at the time, so he's doing this overseas, right? And he's getting this business ready because he's thinking about, what can my daughter have in addition to her own career, but she will have something else that will bring in income, and then should she ever want to live there, she has something that she can jump into. That was the planning that I saw. That was the laying the tracks for security. And then another one, a dear friend of mine, he was so fashionable in his 20s. And then now he's become, we joked about it, like he's a dad, a full dad to 3 children. And he used to wear these really fancy watches. He loved watches, and he always had crisp, nice shirts, collared shirts. Now he's in t-shirts and sneakers and sandals sometimes, and jeans, and the watch is very simple. And I asked, hey, I would kid around. You remember those times when you would? And he said, yeah, that's not my focus anymore. My children. I want to make sure that they're enlisted in several things that they're interested in: piano, archery, you name it. And he's giving them that well-roundedness. And those things are no longer important to him. And I did see, even for a moment, that he loved building Legos. He would get like the most complicated one, and he would build it. And he used to do that again many years ago. I've known him for quite some time. And I saw him passing a case, and I was with him, and I was like, oh, he's going to make a purchase. He's going to buy it. And he just looked, and he looked longingly at all of them in the showcase and just left. And I was like, wow, look at that. And I didn't want to say anything, and I didn't want to break that moment, but what I interpreted was, I think I'm gonna make sure that I can pay for whatever it is that my kid needs next. So that's what I've observed with fathers in laying the tracks for security. And planners, great planners. I feel like I'm going on a little too long past my time, so I'm gonna combine the planners and the caregivers. So, caregiving. Every morning, I watch this little girl get fresh breakfast. I did not get fresh breakfast every morning. I got a bowl of cereal, maybe toast. And I shouldn't compare, and I compare only to say that, wow, I know the effort that it took to cook the eggs and bacon and toast, cut it up, put it in aluminum foil because they were often running late to school, and have it for her in the car, and heat up something, be it cocoa, or she wanted to drink juice that morning. So while she's getting ready, Dad's downstairs also getting himself prepared for his very stressful and important job, and he's doing this for his daughter to make sure that she has a fresh breakfast every morning. Dad's caregiving planning. Also, I had a friend whose father she's moved out into her own house. She's taking care of things, plumbing and all this other stuff. But guess what? Trash day, who pulled the trash to the curb? Dad. Dad took the garbage always to the curb, and would bring it back maybe. But if not, she would just do it on her way home. Well, when she got home, she would just bring it back to the back of the house. That was Dad. And he did not live with her. He lived maybe a couple of miles away, but he made it a point to come and do that all the time. Never asked. My girlfriend's name is Tony. Tony would have gotten that done on her own. Maybe she would have missed a couple but she would have been able to manage that. But Dad did that for her, and he was a father of 4 girls, and they were all grown, and he still made time to do that. And another one, and I'm going to end with this one. I saw a father decide, I'm going to get my daughter a car. It's easy to go to a lot and buy it, right? Just go and lease, buy whatever what you want to do. Well, he thought he's going to, and I think it was part of his own interest in building cars, as well as he wanted to provide this car for his daughter. He bought a really good engine and what other mechanics that are needed for a car. I don't know what they all are, but he bought a really good engine. And there was some structure of a body. It was a Toyota Civic. Not Toyota, Honda Civic. And then I saw where he worked and found good doors to have placed on the car, a hood because the hood was dented and he had that replaced as well. So he kind of built this car for his daughter. And Hondas are really good cars. And he decided he would build this car, got a great paint job, and he delivered this to his daughter. And I remember seeing the video. I thought, wow, amazing. And he had a very busy life. He was a pilot. And so could you imagine, he's always away. But when he would come home, he spent time running around to different junkyards looking for doors and hoods and whatever other things that were needed. A radio, I believe, was another item that was added to the car. So this is my Voltron of a father, and I thank you for listening. So, thank you. So I will end with a joke. So I overheard this husband say, I told my wife she needs to embrace her insecurities. So she gave me a hug.
Surprise, Joe. Hi, my name's Marcy Schneider, if you don't know me, and I'm married to Joe Schneider, who runs the camera for our YouTube part of the service. So, and many of you know us, so this is going to be very personal to all of you, and the Zoom people too. A lot of people know us. First of all, happy Father's Day to all the dads, and the Zoom dads too. And my part of this talk was Father's Day from a wife's point of view. Okay. So, since I've been Joe Schneider's wife for the past 54 years, and the mother of Joe's children for the past 47 years, I figured that I'm qualified to speak on this topic. So when Giovanna said, would I do this? I said, sure, I'll do that. And I sat down to think of what my experiences and what I would say. Now, as you know, Mother's Day and Father's Day are the holidays that evoke a lot of personal, emotional feelings, not like Christmas or Halloween or whatever. Mother's Day and Father's Day are really personal to you. So I cannot speak for all the wives because they have their own stories, but I can speak about me as a wife of Joe Schneider on Father's Day. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. But then I thought, yikes, what do I say? Normally I would turn to Joe first thing and bounce my ideas off of him, but this was supposed to be a secret, a surprise. Now we're retired now, so we're like always together. Always together.
Sounds so exciting.
No, I liked when he went to work and he liked when I went to work, I think. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, I could not mention anything to Joe, right? It had to be a secret for him, special. So first thing I did was I asked my two kids what they thought about their dad. Maybe some idea would inspire me. So this is what they said, and I'm going to read you how they texted just thoughts. Carrie is 45 years old. My good memories are camping, trips, walking on the ceiling as an adult. That's because Joe would, of course, put him up there since he's so tall. And as an adult, hiking together. That's something they would do. I gave him haircuts during COVID, and he still likes me to cut his hair. And today it's Father's Day, and we're going to her house later, and he is getting a haircut. I was thinking the whole time, it's a little long, but I couldn't say anymore. Back to Carrie. He gave us the best backyard to bounce, swing, clip, climb, and flip. If we went on a long car ride, he played self-help auto books that would put her to sleep. but he knew the words would sink in and make me a better person. He gave me space to push away as a teenager, but he was always there if I needed him. He was always there if I needed him. This is what I was looking for. Aha. Okay, that's right, he was. Now, Kevin, who's 47, he said, here's my stream of conscious memories. Dad took me to the hospital a few times, like when I cut off the tip of my thumb. This was at a work job where he was, slicing meat and stuff. And when I ripped my hand open on a camping trip. We won the Pinewood Derby in Cub Scouts. He helped me with a school project about robots and robotics. He was always fun-loving with a sense of adventure. He taught me so much about fixing things. We had a great time working on my house projects together. He gets excited about big ideas, camping, traveling so many places, biking, hiking. I don't want to get emotional, but he might have to come read this. No. Hiking, ski trips, cars, motorcycles, backyard fun, rope swings, trampolines, swing sets, treehouse, so many experiences. The last thing he said, here I go again, he's always been there. He's always been there. So that's what Joe gave our children as their dad and so much more. So what did Joe give me as his wife of 47 years? First of all, he made me a mother, and in return, I made him a father. Right? That's how it works, people. Together, we created a stable and consistent family unit. He's been a source of love, understanding, security, and fun for all of us, and he's always been there when we need him, including me. So, Joe, I am fortunate to be your wife and the mother of your children. Here's to celebrate you today and every day. You are my rock, my sounding board, and the love of my life. And that's why I want to say Happy Father's Day to you. All right. Now, I know dad jokes, and some of them are pretty funny. I follow two guys that sit on like a platform at a lake with a coffee mug, and they just tell jokes back and forth. But Giovanna sent me some jokes. And so then I thought, wait a minute, I'm the last one to speak, and maybe she knows all the jokes that are coming, so I just better use hers. But since I've heard some of the other jokes, yours are really, really funny, and mine are not as funny, but they are. Okay, here's my first dad joke. What goes, oh, oh, oh? Santa Claus walking backwards. How can you tell if an aunt is a girl? They're all girls. Otherwise, they'd all be uncles. So anyway, Happy Father's Day, everybody.
All right, as we do after most talks, let's just take this into treatment. Thank you all for being here, presenting, sharing your hearts, sharing the love. And I know that that's what this community is all about, love and kindness and safety. So being here today, being in this place, sharing this together, I know that all of this comes from that one mind, that one that we are all part of, that we express uniquely, individually, differently. As individuals, as parents, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, just family members. And what a beautiful opportunity it is to come and celebrate all of that together. I give thanks, I give gratitude. I know that going forward, that we have so much to be grateful for that we don't even know about yet. So knowing that all of this is ours, right here, right now, in this beautiful gathering, I release these words, knowing that we are all blessed by them, into that power and presence, the love and the law that always says yes. And so it is.
And so it is. Looks like you're up again.
Thank you. Okay, could we have all the fathers join us up at the front, and be careful of the wires, and please face the audience. And even, please, I invite those who serve as father roles. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're also giving a gift today to each of the fathers, and it is it's a bracelet, a beaded bracelet, and it's tiger's eye. And tiger's eye has many meanings, but one of them is mental clarity. And as we've heard, that is something that you naturally have, and so it's to enhance your mental clarity and all the other great benefits. You're welcome. So I will pass these out, and then Tony, would you mind coming and giving a beautiful treatment over the fathers today? Thank you. Father's Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Father's Day. Thank you.
I have an announcement to make. After this service, I'm going to immediately start treating to have real comedians join our center. Sometimes the world is so much. Sometimes there are no words. And so I allow the presence of God in this moment to speak by means of me. I allow the presence of God to give testimony to its expression by means of Father, by means of fathers. I allow this presence to give expression to each unique, wonderful, incredible being and beingness that expresses as mentor, as caregiver, as love, as support, as the power, as the protection, as the beauty, as the wholeness, as the guidance, as the harmony, as the expectation of everything that is good and wonderful for the children that they mentor in the world. I affirm with this word that this divine power and presence has and will continue to express in and through and as each one of these fathers. It will continue to express as its unique, highest, and best good, as providing exactly what is required for the children, as providing exactly what is needed moment by moment by moment. And in this moment, I want to say that if you think that you somehow made a mistake that can't be remedied, if you think that you were somehow not quite enough, If you wish you could have done something better, it was absolutely perfect no matter what. And your children have exactly what they need to take what you have provided for them and make something incredible out of it in their lives. You see, God is expressing, Spirit is expressing whatever it is you call your understanding of your higher power. It is expressing in and through and as and by means of you, and therefore, no matter what it looks like, it is absolutely perfect. And so in this moment, I thank you. I thank you for standing up, for saying yes, for doing your best no matter what, for giving your all no matter what, for putting your children in front of you and your needs no matter what. In this moment, I say thank you. In the moments to come, I want you to remember and hear my thank you and know that the power and presence that is God is providing you with everything that you require, because Father is one of the most powerful, most beautiful roles you could possibly live in this life. And so affirming that no matter what, you have everything you need. You are everything you need to be. You are everything your children will ever need. Knowing this, I simply release this word into the law, giving thanks that you said yes to being a father. Please close with me. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
You may be seated.